Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
You're listening to the Perk Up with Kim show. I am your host, Kim O'Neill, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today. On this show, I invite you to embrace all of who you are. Know that anything is possible for you as I talk with really awesome, inspiring guests about topics that allow you to step into a place of ease and flow, positively expanding your energy and tapping into your power. Grab your coffee or tea and come percolate with me. Welcome to the Perk Up with Kim show. Today is another day where we get to choose how we spend it. Doesn't that feel so good, knowing that we have a choice? I'm feeling so refreshed and uplifted today, and I'm going to share a little bit why that is. And as always, I'm super excited to speak with our guest today. Today we have Master Illusionist Michael Grandinetti. Woohoo! Applause! But first, like I said, I do want to share some thoughts. And I want to acknowledge you and something you may be experiencing right now. So lots of things are going on in the world today, right? Yeah. And we don't need to get into the specifics. That's not what I'm aiming to do here. But whether it be things going on in the world or just in our personal lives, we can tend to feel overwhelmed and stressed out. And that can lead us to feeling pushed, maybe pulled, even squeezed. And that's actually how I usually picture it. I picture, being squeezed. I think we're all being a little squeezed these days. And sometimes we might find it easy to regain some sense of peace and flow by recalibrating our energy, whether by just being mindful in the moment of how we're feeling, or by engaging in a practice like meditation, exercising, journaling. Those things can all help to release some of that internal resistance we experience. But sometimes we don't find our way to that space of release. And before we know it, we pop like a balloon. You can only fill it up so much before it pops, right? It can only, it can certainly take quite a bit. Balloons are intended to hold air. And as we're filling up a balloon, we have to pay attention and assess. Is that enough? Is that too much? When is a good time to stop filling it up? So on some level, we use our intuition, just simply in the process of blowing up a balloon. The same goes for your mind and your body. So there's a lot going on right now, and you might be feeling passionate about doing something about it, or just feeling passionate in general. Maybe nothing's coming to mind in terms of, doing something about it. And passion is awesome. I feel I'm a very passionate person, and I love when I tap into my passion. I just want to encourage you to be mindful of what your body is telling you as you're experiencing the squeeze, the push-pull tension of what's going on around you and within you. One of the best things you can do in times like this is to take care of yourself, because we need you. We need you to be well, and we need you to be as whole as you can be, because we're moving forward. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are all moving forward. So, please be kind to yourself. If you've been struggling to take care of you, be patient and forgiving to yourself. Allow others to support you when they offer support. Take baby steps towards being more mindful and listening to your body and what your intuition is telling you, so that you can start to move more fluidly through the changes that our world is going through right now. We are going to make it out of this. Oh, yes, we will. And we'll be rebirthed into something new. You are not alone on this journey. We're all experiencing it on some level. And if there's someone around you whom you admire for how well they might be processing or handling things, keep in mind, first off, we don't really know what everyone's dealing with, right? So things may appear one way on the outside, maybe a little different for that person on the inside. But if you notice someone's handling things in a way that you would like to be, maybe you can talk to them. Ask them what helps them. Sometimes we become resistant to asking for help, as if that makes us look weak, as if we're not capable of figuring it out ourselves. And I will just say up front, I used to experience that myself and keep trying to think I had to do it all, figure it out myself. I'm a strong person. I can do it myself. But you know what? We can choose to work smarter and not harder by just asking, because you're not meant to have it all figured out on your own. We each have a piece to the puzzle, and when we work together, miracles can happen. They do. They happen. We see them. And I believe more and more miracles are already in progress. I'm seeing goodness in our world already start to crop up as we all work to move forward, and I hope you are too. And if not, start to look for it. Start to look for it, and I bet you'll start to see bits and pieces of it, and then more and more. And if you're still not seeing it, maybe that is a cue to you that you are supposed to start something in your area. What way can you start to show up and provide more ease? What ideas are coming to mind for you? Just something to think about. And, now more than ever, your kind of awesome and goodness, your ideas, your inspiration are needed. And here's the thing. They're always needed. But if you notice you really identify with this push, pull, squeeze I mentioned, ask yourself, what wants to come forward out of me? What needs to be expressed? And what if you were to give that a voice? Okay, so thank you. I just really felt called to express that this morning. And just all about sharing your unique voice. I could say so much more on that. Oh, my goodness. But we have an amazing guest here. So let's move on to him. So today's guest is Michael Grandinetti, Master Illusionist. And we are continuing with our theme of Where Are They Now? So we're going to get to hear from Michael about his journey so far in his life that led him to where he is today. So, what has he gone through? What's he experienced? How has he overcome any challenges that he's endured? And, of course, about being an illusionist and all the awesome stuff that he's doing there. So let me share a little bit more about Michael, and then we'll talk to him. So Michael Grandinetti is not your ordinary magician. He does magic on a major scale. He's performed on national and international television, in stadiums, arenas, casinos, and theaters around the country. He's even been to the White House. Oh, my goodness. He's starred in NBC's The World's Most Dangerous Magic and the CW's Masters of Illusion series. He's been to Hollywood Christmas Parade, and Entertainment Weekly named him a great magician who can truly communicate with a TV audience. That is special right there. And he's the first illusionist ever to be invited to perform in the National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C., where he levitated a girl high above one of the floats as it moved down Constitution Avenue. And as mentioned a moment ago, he is also currently appearing in the summer 2016 Season 3 of CW's Masters of Illusion series. So, oh my goodness. So happy to have you here, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Kim, thank you so much. It is great to talk to you.
Oh, well, this is super exciting for me because I love people who you have such a great energy. You have such a positive, upbeat energy, and you're doing such cool things that really, they challenge people's minds. And that is, I think this is such a good time in the world to see that in people. So thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you for your very kind words. And you know what? I just tell people I'm a lucky guy that gets to do what he loves. And I'm so grateful that I get to wake up every day and just be passionate about what I do. And I wish that for everybody because it feels great. And I wouldn't trade what I'm doing for the world. And you're right. I agree. I think magic is a great time for magic because magic takes people back to a simpler time, to a stress-free time, makes them feel like they were kids again, makes them feel like anything is possible. And I think in today's world where everything is so hectic and so fast-paced and, information is coming at us all the time and, magic it takes us back to that simpler positive, uplifting time that, most all of us can remember in our lives. And I think that's important.
Absolutely. And thank you for mentioning that. You're right. There's so much ease and wonderment that comes when I think of, magic that I witnessed as a kid and, when an uncle taught me a magic trick. And there's this excitement and energy of possibilities. So great point.
Well, thank you. And it's fun for me to see, the favorite part about my job is watching that in people, come into our show who look stressed and tired, and understandably because they've had a long week or a long day, and you get to watch them smile and have fun again. And for me, again, if you were to ask me what the best part of my job is, it's that. It's seeing that kind of happy transformation in people as they're watching the magic.
It sounds very rewarding. Well, I would like to ask you some questions about you and things that you've experienced in your life that led to where you are today. How does that sound?
That is perfect. Ask me whatever you want except for how the magic works.
Okay, I know. I almost jotted that down. I'm like, that is pointless. I'm not even going to waste my breath on that. Okay.
Oh, I know you would never ask that.
I totally get it. So you're in this space right now. You know what? I'm not even gonna add thoughts to it. So if you could put one word to where you are in your life today, what one word describes your life today?
One word. That's a tough one. I would say I got to give you two words. One is passionate and one is grateful. I am, like I mentioned earlier, I am busy morning to night working on magic. I work 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's no nights, there's no weekends that really, there's no off switch, basically. I'm constantly working on what I do. But I love it. I am so excited and passionate about it that, again, I'm excited to talk to you about it. I'm grateful to be able to do it. I realize that, I'm grateful that we could talk about it. I'm grateful that I get to do it. I realize most people don't feel like this. Most people have a job that they may enjoy and that they do, but, to be passionate about it is I think that's could be a rare thing, and I don't take it for granted.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Personally, I have always felt that that is the goal, is to be passionate about what I do. This is my one life, and I want to love it. I want to love what I do and be able to infuse passion and experience passion while I'm doing what I do. And I think a lot of people want that. And I think there are also some people who are they don't quite see that possibility for themselves, though. So they've let that go. And I hope that people, as they move forward, through this energy that's happening in the world today, that they're able to connect with their passion and be able to infuse their lives with more of that. I think I went off on a tangent there, but I think absolutely. I think that's awesome that you're able to experience passion in your daily job.
And you know what? There's no, to your point, there's no, it's never too late to find that.
Right.
It's never too late to look for that and find it. I've talked to people who have said, oh, well, you know what, I'm already set in my ways. You're not. I mean, there are some great actors who didn't start acting until they were in their 50s. Some great artists who didn't start, creating their art until they were in their 50s or even 60s. And, it's ages, there's absolutely no reason why anybody at any point can't look for what they love to do.
I love it, and I completely agree. Okay, awesome point. So right now you're in the space of feeling passionate and grateful where you are, and that's so cool. Tell me what one word would have described your life before? And before is wherever you go back to in your mind when things weren't the way they are now.
Well, I have to be 100% honest with you. I can't remember a time when magic wasn't in my life. I mean, I started magic when I was 5, and it guided my whole life. So, I'll take this answer in two directions. So I've always had that kind of motivation and that love of something in my life. And it's always been a very positive thing. I always had a lot of support from my family, a lot of support from my community where I grew up in Pittsburgh. So, there was never a time where it was, any kind of negative about it. But I will say this to you, that when I first moved to Los Angeles out of college and I had to start from zero, that was a challenging time. So I would say, those early years in LA where you're a very small fish in a very big pond and you're starting over, even though I had done a lot of magic, I'd been on television, you're still starting over in a new town. It was, I think, challenging is the best word I could use to describe that. It's almost overwhelming to try and get a foothold in a place that's so large and so competitive, and everybody's going for the same thing as far as entertainment, and it could be daunting. So I would say my early years in Los Angeles, best word to describe them would be challenging.
I had a feeling that you were going to say that you've always sort of been connected to this passionate, grateful energy. And I think what is so key, what you just said, is that you've always had that support from your family.
100% yes. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for, my parents always encouraging encouraging me. My brother and my sister were my test audience, as were my parents when I was a kid, and I would perform everything for them first. And to this day, I still run everything past them and say, hey, I have this idea. What do you think of this? And the community. I mean, the community in Pittsburgh, I grew up in a suburb of Pittsburgh called West Mifflin, and the people of the town would hire me as a 12-year-old magician to do their, adult events, like company parties and holiday parties and everything you could possibly think of where they would need entertainment. They would hire me. And the thing is, they never treated me like a kid doing magic. They treated me like I was just a magician. And what that put in my head was I wasn't, that I was there, that I was a magician, and that I could do this, and that, they never treated you any less than, or it was just that support, and the way they treated me gave me that belief in myself to push forward. And I was very goal-driven. I was very, very goal-driven. So if it wasn't for that, I don't know what would have happened, because it's not an easy business to push forward in. It's not regimented. There's no set path. It's very unstructured. So I'm thankful for that.
That's so wonderful. And I think, you hit on the part that I was going to mention, is that it definitely sounds like you believed in yourself, and so did the people around you. And that is that piece right there can just be so critical to the leaps and bounds, or the level of success that we can see for ourselves. I mean, it's always possible, but do we have that belief that it's possible? So that's awesome to hear you say that. And now I'm curious, are there other people in your family that were also doing magic, or were you the first one?
I was the first one. I mean, there was nobody in my family who was in entertainment or magic, or I was just drawn to it. I was just, when I got this magic set for Christmas when I was 5, I was hooked. I remember seeing magic on television when I was 5 and feeling amazed. And I remember when I got this magic set, at 5, I couldn't even read and understand the instructions. I had an older cousin who came over that morning and kind of, he was 10 years older than me, so he was about 15. So he went through this magic set and performed some little tricks for me as he was reading the instructions. And I remember feeling amazed then, too. And that just, when you feel that sense of amazement as a kid, oh, that's it. You're just hooked. Now, I will say my grandfather, on my dad's side, he loved magic. He loved magic. He was not a magician at all. No, I mean, outside of the typical grandfather tricks that, most grandfathers probably know. But he just was a huge magic fan. My dad and I always talk about that. I wish he would have been able to see the show that I've been able to create. I think he would have. I think he would have enjoyed that.
Nice. You know what? I just want to give a shout out to your family for supporting you in your passion and your goal-driven spirit to further your, you becoming a magician. So kudos to your family.
Absolutely. Again, wouldn't be doing it. 100% wouldn't be doing it without them. This story goes in so many directions, and Kim, if I keep talking, I'm an Italian from Pittsburgh, so I can talk. So if I talk too much, just you know.
Okay.
But
Sure, go ahead.
You know, it's just, you know, you just bring back all these thoughts of, I mean, my dad would take me to the magic store in downtown Pittsburgh every couple of weeks and patiently wait while I went hours and hours and hours through the store. And he'd have to run out and keep putting quarters in the meter because I just never wanted to leave. But he never would say, come on, we have to go. It was just, he would patiently wait while I just cased the entire store for new magic and just, you know, again, so supportive, so incredibly supportive.
How wonderful. Okay, so my next question for you. So, okay, you've had all this support, and, oh, you know what? We actually need to prepare for a break. So I will save this question for after the break. Hang in there. If you want to find out more about Michael Grandinetti, go to michaelgrandinetti.com, and you can see more about what he's doing, the shows he's airing on, and stay right there. We're going to be right back talking more with Michael Grandinetti. No matter how your life looks today, your possibilities are endless. You deserve all the joy, peace, and excitement in life that you desire. Life doesn't come with a manual, and that's why personal coaching is so awesome. Moving forward is easier. Creating a new reality for yourself, healing your mind and body, it's all possible. Visit KimO'NeillCoaching.com today to learn more and schedule your free consultation.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now, this same technology is available to you. They have the best earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. earthchannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things, like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget, web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now, so come to earthchannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 800-849-8978. That's 800-849-8978.
Right now, I know you're in the middle of a break during my show, The Perk Up with Kim show, and I'm so glad you could join us today. Are you having fun, maybe feeling inspired, a little rejuvenated? Reassured that it's all going to be okay, because you are super strong and can get through and accomplish anything. I know this. Sign up at KimO'NeillCoaching.com/contact to make sure you always know when the next show is going to air. And hey, if no one's told you yet today, you're doing a great job. Okay, I gotta go. Show's about to start back up.
Attention Kmart shoppers. Now you get Kmart on HealthyLife.net. Kmart carries over 70,000 items like Martha Stewart's Everyday Products, apparel by Jacqueline Smith, Joe Boxer, Route 66, appliances, jewelry, and more. Everything you need. Plus, you'll get exciting weekly promotions. Go to HealthyLife.net's homepage and click on Kmart, and then you're there. And you even avoided the crowds.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Perk Up with Kim show on HealthyLife.net. And today we are talking to Michael Grandinetti, Master Illusionist. And Michael, so I want to ask you, you shared a lot about how, life is passionate and filled with gratitude for you right now, but you did have some challenges, before you got to the space that you're in now. And I would like to just hear a little bit more about that. Can you share with us a time when you experienced something challenging along your journey? I know that you've had a very supportive family, but what pops up for you when I ask, what was a challenging time that you've gone through and how you got through it?
Yeah, I think certainly when I moved to California, when I moved to Los Angeles, like I mentioned earlier, right out of college, it was definitely a challenging time because I was 3,000 miles away from everybody that I knew. You know, I was starting over, like I said, in a new town, and you know, it's as I mentioned, it's such a big competitive place. Los Angeles is. You know, I hit the ground running. I would just from morning to night make phone calls, send out emails. This was even the days before YouTube, so I would make. This was in the days before you can make your own DVDs, so it was all VHS tapes. So I would literally run off in my, you know, at home. I would run off, you know, 200, 300 VHS tapes in a week, and take garbage bags filled with tapes to the post office, and mail them out, and just keep pushing. But when you know, even with that amount of work, starting from zero, you get very little response. You know, again, I was 22, so I had done some, you know, good things for that point in time, but, you know, I still had a ways to go. So it was beating down doors and trying to convince people to give me 15 minutes of their time, and you know, it was slow going for I would say at the very least the first year to 2 years that I moved to LA. It just took a lot of time to get people to sort of pay attention to what I was trying to do. So it was, you know, it was very challenging. It was, you know, and it could be discouraging. I watched a lot of friends kind of pack up and move home and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm you know, I'm out of LA. It's too rough. But it just, for me, it was just, I just figured it's climbing a mountain, and eventually you're going to get to the top if you keep pushing. So, but yeah, it was challenging. But for me, it was just all about, I'm not going to let anything get in my way. I'm going to keep pushing forward.
Nice. So, okay, so that brings me to another question I really want to ask you. It sounds like you had a lot of focus on where you were headed.
Yeah, I mean, there was never a point in my life at any time where there was a plan B. I'm not saying having a plan B is a bad thing. I'm just saying for me, it was just, I'm going to be a magician. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to figure out a way to do it. And it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be tough, and there are going to be bumps along the road, but I'm going to figure out a way to do it. I kind of knew that going in, particularly when I made the move to LA. I didn't expect it to be easy. Honestly, I thought it would be easier. It was more difficult than I thought, but I didn't expect it to be easy. But it was it. Every day, just like now, every day I wake up and I go, time to get to work. And I go straight to work, and I figure out what I want to do for the day, and I keep, you know, it's different now because there's a lot of business going on in a lot of different areas. But even back in those days, it was just time to get to work and time to make this, you know, time to push forward today. So yeah, I was 100% focused. There was nothing else. There was nothing else in my mind that was going to kind of take up my time.
When you were in those first couple years being in LA, I hope it's okay if I ask you this. Did you have other side jobs while you were still trying to get the magic going, or were you able to just devote all your time to magic?
I was able to do enough shows, you know, that I was able to survive.
Okay.
You know, smaller shows, certainly not what we, you know, in my early 20s, my shows were on more of a smaller scale, but I was able to keep busy. But I would also kind of volunteer my time in a lot of the production facilities here in town to learn. I would say, look, let me come in and help you with stuff. I want to see how the cameras work. I want to see how you film a TV show. I want to see how you handle the audience. I want to see what the producers do. I want to see what they do in the control booth. I want to see, because I knew television and magic were I wanted to combine magic with television. And I knew that being in L.A., I wasn't going to waste the opportunity of living in L.A. If I drove 3,000 miles to be here, I wanted to learn from everything that was here to learn from. I wanted to be a sponge and kind of soak it up.
Nice.
So I spent a lot of time. You know, I volunteered. I did a thing with Dick Clark when I first moved to California. And I basically said, look, I want to come in when you're doing a production. Let me come in and kind of help you out and watch and learn from this. And I was probably 22, maybe 23 when I did that. And to be able to watch somebody like Dick Clark work, who, you know, had an amazing 50-year career and was a true master in all things entertainment and television, you know, I spent a lot of time doing that. I figure in those early years it was a continuation of my college. You can't go to college for certain things. You have to kind of, I mean, I did. I went to school for business, but I wanted to continue that education for where I wanted to. That's what those early years were like.
Nice. It sounds like you did a great job of really immersing yourself in every aspect, so you could continue to just add on to what you had. And like you said, you drove all that way. You're not going to waste it. You're going to really take advantage of it, and that's exciting. That's inspiring to hear that you did that. You also sound like you think outside of the box a lot, which I think sounds very fitting for a magician.
Well, you have to, in anything, whether you're a magician or whether you're not. I think the great thing is there's a world of possibilities out there.
Yep.
Especially now with all the connection everybody has, it's just, we could reach the world at our fingertips on the computer. We could contact anybody. There's really no limit. So
yeah.
I kind of approach everything as far as just not putting a limit on myself and just going, there's no such thing as a too, I don't want to say outlandish because, there might be depending on how you think, but, I guess the point is don't put limits on yourself as long as it's, constructive and positive, somebody I'll give you an example. So about 10 years ago, a little longer than that, maybe about 12 years ago, okay, longer than that, now I'm thinking about it, it was probably closer to 15 years ago, when I first wanted to do stadiums. I remember somebody specifically telling me, you're never going to do stadiums, magic isn't going to work in stadiums, no one's going to watch. Get that out, they said, get that out of your mind. And we're on to our almost 30th stadium now because I didn't put that in my head.
Nice.
I just knew that it was something that was possible. So.
Awesome. Well, we are going to take another break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you a few more questions just about your journey, and then we're going to talk about the magic and the things that you are doing today. So hang right in there. You're listening to the Perk Up with Kim show on HealthyLife.net.
Sometimes we wish we could practically do nothing and still feel better. Guess what? You kinda can. When you schedule a Reiki or guided meditation session, you can just be and receive and allow the energy to shift. There's relief. These energy sessions can be done alone or combined with a coaching session. Find out more at KimO'NeillCoaching.com and click on the Energy Work tab.
Get your moto going at the Motorola store online. Visit the HealthyLife.net advertiser page, click on Motorola, and you'll discover a whole new world of phones. Plus, you can get great deals on phones, with or without contract. That's great, Moto. And don't forget, they even have Bluetooth and other phone accessories. But that's not all. Want more Moto? Motorola has home and office phones and two-way radios. And for the best Moto ever, Motorola has great specials right online. Go to the HealthyLife.net advertiser page and click on the Motorola banner now and get your moto going.
Yes! You did it! You got the job interview! Now all you need to do is prepare. You aren't sure how or what to say? Guess what? We can do this together then. One of my specialties is helping you to know how to present your best self for an employment interview. We'll practice, you'll feel confident. You got this. Visit KimO'NeillCoaching.com or call 562-273-2546.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
You're listening to the Perk Up with Kim show, and we are in the middle of the show talking with our guest, Michael Grandinetti, Master Illusionist. And so, Michael, my next question for you is, what beliefs, if any, what beliefs did you have that changed over time? And that can be about anything. So maybe about your abilities, about what's possible, about how you perceive things in the world, what beliefs did you have that changed over time that helped you get to where you are today?
Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because, I started out being a very optimistic guy and believing that anything was possible. And I still have that. I still have that belief that if you want to do it, you could pick up a phone or you could write an email and start down that path. So, honestly, I can't tell you that anything. That's a great question, and but I'm lucky that I had that optimism and that belief that somehow that was instilled in me so early on. But yeah, it's that's been with me consistently throughout, and I got to say that hasn't changed. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's helped me the most is that I've never had something I have never felt something was impossible to go out and do. Yeah.
But you know what? I think you're just a perfect example of what can happen, what's possible when someone has support and when someone stays focused and stays open to possibilities. And I just want to take a moment for you listening out there. If maybe you notice you don't have support in your life, everything is still possible for you. So sometimes we need to sort of open and expand to, okay, you know what, maybe I'm not getting support from my family or my friends, my current circle. So then what can I do about that? Maybe I can expand my circle. Maybe I can, start to explore what other groups exist out there and find other like-minded people. So I want everyone listening knowing that anything is possible. And I love what you're sharing with us, Michael, because I think it's a perfect example of how far one can go. And, of course, this is still just the beginning for you. I know you've been on this journey for a while, but I love your mindset, and it's exciting to see, what's happening for you now and where you're headed. So,
well, thank you. Thank you. And you know what, to your point, I think if anybody doesn't have support, I think they just need to believe in themselves. I think you can't. There's always going to be people who are, going to say, oh, that's not possible, but as long as you want to do it and you're excited about it, go for it. Don't let other people deter you from if it's something that you want to go after.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so tell us some more about what you're doing today. I know that you're on the CW show, Masters of Illusion, and talk to us some more. Tell us what's going on for you these days.
It's busy. I mean, it's but I love that. I always say, pile it on. If I didn't have to sleep, I would be happy. I'd be even happier. We're going nonstop. I'm on the road probably 80% of the year, taking magic all over the country. We perform everywhere from stadiums to shows with symphony orchestras to events in casinos and theaters around the country to, as you mentioned earlier, even parades and even at the White House. We did the White House for Easter. So it's a busy schedule, but I love that. I absolutely love it. And then television-wise, we're back for our third season of Masters of Illusion on the CW. Airs every Friday night this summer at 8 o'clock. It's been running for about 4 weeks now. So we're well into the third season, and it's great. I mean, it's the kind of show where, every week people can tune in and see 6 or 8 different magicians from around the world doing what the producers feel are their best stuff, their best pieces of magic. So you're going to see everything from large illusions to small illusions to mind reading to escapes to comedy magic, and it's just a fun show for the whole family. And that's what I'm most proud of, too, is that people can watch this. People of all ages can gather around the television and watch this show together and enjoy it. And in today's TV universe, as you know, that could be rare. So, I'm real proud of the show. And, we just speaking of our work on the show, we taped 6 brand new illusions for this season. Everything from, and many of which have not been on television before. Everything from making somebody float in the center of the audience.
Wow.
To doing magic with borrowed items, to making half of my body disappear. Last week we pulled a girl out from the audience, and she had no idea she was going to be part of the show. She just thought she was going to come to the show and watch. We pulled her up out of the audience, and I made her float. at the center of the stage. We made an audience member float because I wanted to kind of see that kind of expression on her face. What is she going to experience when she's actually floating as compared to myself or one of my assistants? And it was great. She did great. It was a lot of fun, and so it's a lot. We're having a really good time with it this year. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
I saw that one where you levitated the girl from the audience, and that is just, all the tricks that I've seen you do are just phenomenal. And I just wonder, is there ever any part of you that starts to wonder, what if they figure it out? Or I don't know. What's going through your head?
Well, I try to be very careful with that because it's you don't want people figuring it out or knowing how the magic works, only because it's not going to hurt me. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to take away that, I know how it works.
Right.
I can't be amazed by it anymore. I don't want you to. I still love my job. I love what I do, but I don't get to feel amazed, and I know how important that is and how great that is. So, I try to be careful to protect the audience from losing that sense of amazement. But, and particularly when we tape magic for television, we're very careful with how it's shot. But the other thing is that we're also we try and shoot it in very unique ways so that the camera moves around the magic, behind the magic, sometimes under the magic. So we use television to our advantage so that the home viewer can get a view of things they wouldn't even see if they were there. For example, that levitation you saw, where I levitated the audience member. There's a couple of great shots where the camera moves around the side and you can see behind the girl while she's floating, which is great because if you were just there watching from the audience, you would only see it straight on. So by watching at home, you get to see behind and around and, get a great view of everything. So, it's a lot of fun. It really is. I'm glad you had a chance to see that, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and, I want to ask you another question, but we need to go to a break. Okay, so we are going to step into our next break. Again, we're talking to Michael Grandinetti. You can check him out by going to michaelgrandinetti.com. That's Michael, GRANDINETTI.com. I had to think about that. And when we come back, we're going to wrap up talking to Michael and go on from there. So hang in there with us.
No matter how your life looks today, your possibilities are endless. You deserve all the joy, peace, and excitement in life that you desire. Life doesn't come with a manual, and that's why personal coaching is so awesome. Moving forward is easier. Creating a new reality for yourself, healing your mind and body, it's all possible. Visit KimO'NeillCoaching.com today to learn more and schedule your free consultation.
These shoes are made for walking, jumping, running, and just plain style. Over 32,000 styles. Skechers, an award-winning global leader in lifestyle footwear. And now you can get Skechers without walking, jumping, or running. You can get them by clicking. Scroll down HealthyLife.net's homepage and click. You can check out Skechers, high-quality shoes in styles for men, women, and children. So get in style. Get Skechers today and start walking, running, jumping, and strutting in style.
Right now, I know you're in the middle of a break during my show, The Perk Up with Kim show, and I'm so glad you could join us today. Are you having fun, maybe feeling inspired, a little rejuvenated? Reassured that it's all going to be okay, because you are super strong and can get through and accomplish anything. I know this. Sign up at KimO'NeillCoaching.com/contact to make sure you always know when the next show is going to air. And hey, if no one's told you yet today, you're doing a great job. Okay, I gotta go. Show's about to start back up.
If you like to spend your television viewing time learning about some of the things that you may have missed in history class, or if history was your favorite subject, then you should check out the link to the History Channel on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page. Order DVD sets by series or by subject matter right from our homepage while you still enjoy your favorite HealthyLife.net show.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Perk Up with Kim show, and I'm talking to magician, master illusionist, Michael Grandinetti. And Michael, I want to ask you, I just want to backtrack a little bit. What does it take to learn all these tricks and illusions and all the magic that you've learned? I imagine you study as an apprentice with someone, or what is that process like?
No, really. I mean, there's really no apprenticeship program in magic. Basically, for me, it started out getting these magic sets that were available in toy stores, and they were very basic. But I found a magic store in downtown Pittsburgh that, as I mentioned, my dad would take me to every couple of weeks, and that really, opened my eyes to a lot of things. But books, I would get magic books and read them and learn from them. And the great thing about a magic book, as compared to now, everybody goes on YouTube, to kind of look for magic. But a magic book, you can read it and interpret it your own way. You're not just watching it and emulating somebody else. If you read something in a book, your mind starts being creative in your own particular way about what you're reading, and you perform it as yourself. And so I think that's really important. So I tell people that nowadays the best way to learn magic is find a magic store in your local hometown. There's a lot of them out there. Get some great magic books and study them, and go out and perform every chance you get. Even if it's for friends at school or coworkers or family members, or just have fun with magic and get as much experience with it as you can. And that's what I did. I basically learned I learned as much as I could on my own from going to the magic stores and buying the books and buying the small pieces of magic, learning them, and then performing them as much as possible. I would take them to school. I would show them to my family. When I got into my, very early, when I was in my teens, I was about 12, I started to do the shows and around town, and it just gave me the experience with it, and that was it. And then like anything else, you kind of keep growing with it as you go, and you get. For me, it was about trying to continue learning, trying to get a little bit bigger and better every time I did a show or every time I performed, and that was it. It was always about continuing. To this day, my mindset is the same: is continuing to make our show bigger and better. So that's kind of how I got started on the path, and how I learned how I started off learning magic.
That's awesome. Well, you've been so great giving words of advice to aspiring magicians throughout the show here and there, and I'm just wondering if there's anything else that comes up for you. If there's a 12-year-old boy out there or girl who's wanting to really learn more magic and perfect that and make that their career, if that's their dream, are there any additional words you might have for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Magic is such a positive art form, a positive entertainment form. It's a it's a great creative outlet. It's just, for me, I'll run out of time before I run out of ideas for magic, because there's just so much to do out there with it, and it's just, it's a great interpersonal art form. For me, it helped me overcome shyness. It gave me a way to communicate with people. So I would say, any boy or girl or man or woman of any age, if you want to take up magic, go for it. It is such a positive thing that makes not only you happy, but makes other people happy that you're performing for. And again, find that magic store, or if you don't have one in town, there are some great ones online. But I recommend people to support their local actual stores, in town if they have them there, and get some great magic books and a couple of magic effects you can master, and go out and have fun with it. And don't know what you can't do. Somebody told me this, and it always stuck in my head. Don't know what you can't do. And I had to think about that. And what it means is, don't put limits on yourself. If you want to do it, do it. Just don't tell yourself something is not doable. Go out and do it if you want to do it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Michael. You're very positive, upbeat, inspiring, great energy. So glad to have you here today. So thank you for everything you've shared. And I know we told people, we shared your website, michaelgrandinetti.com, and you're also on the CW's Masters of Illusion. Are there any other ways that people can find you or get in contact with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website's great because there's a contact form on there, but also social media. I'm on Facebook, just at Michael Grandinetti. I'm on Twitter at Grandinetti MG, and I'm on Instagram under Michael Grandinetti. So I always welcome people to connect. If they have any questions, to get in touch. I love to hear from people, and I hope your listeners enjoyed our talk. I certainly enjoyed talking with you. Thank you for your time and your very thoughtful questions. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, Kim.
Oh, awesome. Well, I loved having you, so thank you. This was great. So we are coming to the end of the show, and I just want to close out with some thoughts. I want to give a shout-out to a couple people in my circle, and I'm going to be honest, these are not people that I'm, super close with, but people that I'm familiar with, that I know about, who I want to share with you what they are doing. They are promoting more kindness in the world. So I want to give a shout-out to Maggie Morley-Rowe. She's started a kindness campaign and is encouraging people to use the hashtag Kindness Matters whenever you see or experience something that is an example of kindness. So, awesome, great idea, Maggie. And there's another lady. I love supporting positive people. So that's where I'm going with all this. So there's another lady I think is awesome, Charmaine Hammond. She started, her hashtag is #Million Acts of Kindness. She's another awesome lady who is an author, keynote speaker, radio host. And Maggie, she's also a coach, law of attraction coach. So I just want to, if you see something that's, you're like, wow, look at that person. They just did this really nice thing for someone, or, whatever it is, feel free to share it, spread it. Let's let that energy go viral, and let's just create more and more. What might you like to start or lead the way for in your circle? And we are wrapping up the show. I appreciate you. If you would like to know more about me, I don't think I said this at the start, my website is KimO'NeillCoaching.com. O'Neill is spelled Oneill. KimO'NeillCoaching.com. And I am also on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest. And I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I encourage you to say yes to you and what wants to come forth through you and to you. Believe it, receive it, and know that anything is always possible. With gratitude and appreciation for you, have a wonderful day.
Sometimes we wish we could practically do nothing and still feel better. Guess what? You kinda can. When you schedule a Reiki or guided meditation session, you can just be and receive and allow the energy to shift. There's relief. These energy sessions can be done alone or combined with a coaching session. Find out more at KimO'NeillCoaching.com and click on the Energy Work tab.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the Internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Yes! You did it! You got the job interview! Now all you need to do is prepare. You aren't sure how or what to say? Guess what? We can do this together then. One of my specialties is helping you to know how to present your best self for an employment interview. We'll practice, you'll feel confident. You got this. Visit KimO'NeillCoaching.com or call 562-273-2546.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.